That's all right. I'm talking about, yeah, I'll play around once and then you come in the second time round.
Okay.
So that's fine. Go for it again. Yeah.
My name's Adam Connell. So the band's been going since, I think, around 2000, on and off, a long time. I play the drums. We do a lot of stupid things as a band, and I can't remember what instigated it, but in the previous EPs were all our normal names, but for some reason our MySpace names got changed
So that
to 1980s, 1990s sort of action heroes.
silly movies. Sort of
Yeah, so I didn't really give it myself.
My name is Matt Walker. I'm the bass player and the vocalist. We're Sada. We have been around for a really, really long time, but probably actually only together for a short period of time, because we keep splitting up and then realising that we just can't quit each other. And we get drawn back to each other.
I'm Chris. Briefly, I went by the name Mike Danson. I play guitar. We're a three-piece, sometimes four-piece when we're live, rock and metal band.
We once put as a joke on a website, I was Mason Storm, Adam was Time Cop, and Chris was Mike Danton. So yeah, Mike Danton from Deadly Prey. Watch it.
Run, you're gonna die.
Mike Danton is Deadly Prey.
That,
I'm going to build up that whole section, so I'm going to start off with cowbell all the way through.
We said dildo.
I'm going to build up that whole section, and you got dildo.
I thought you said I'm going to dildo that whole section.
Band-wise, I really enjoyed Down, Orange Goblin, Clutch, Bongzilla, quite a wide range, but all things that you can enjoy depending on your outlook on life.
Biggest influence of drummer-wise, it's probably Mike Borden, Faith No More, Brand Ada, Mastodon, Taylor Hawkins, earlier Taylor Hawkins.
Probably people that aren't necessarily the same sort of music as us. The Wild Hearts is my favourite band. Danny from the Wild Hearts, the bass sound he had on the Yo-Yo's album, I loved that bass sound. Neil Fallon, Clutch, or Kohler Clutch. Yeah, Clutch. Actually, Clutch does sound a bit like us. Yeah, they sound a bit like us.
I'd love it if Kev was listening to tell me. Go off topic.
Yeah, actually, because my colleagues might see this.
You've came a long way since All Hail the Beef Lords. Are you all still big on beef?
Bring on the beef.
Trying to move the band away from beef, but we keep just looks like Michael Corleone. Just when we thought we were out, the beef pulls us back in.
I'm not too sure we were big on beef beforehand. I think we just done it because it was funny.
I know it'll be a working title, but what do you want to call the album?
I think what had been banded around was 20. It's basically 20 years since our very first EP.
I wanted to go classic, like a tribute to Sabbath. Call it Sada Volume 4.
I'd like to call it The Rise of the Indigenous Burger Lords. Thanks to your good self, actually. Even when I changed it to Bovine Hordes, though, Adam wasn't digging it, so...
I always hope we're a serious band, but we never will be. Because we're not out here to make any money or be popular.
Maybe a tentacle logo for the cover, or Rocktopus would be a great name, but Adam will say no.
Rocktopus is the one that really grinds your gears.
Yeah.
Enjoy the Rocktopus. Enjoy those slippery, rocky tentacles all over you, Adam.
Oh, my campaign has started. I'll be doing this for the next 2 weeks, so just needling away until I get my own way. The Rise of the Indigenous Burger Lords.
That's not fucking on the card.
Fine. The Rise of the Indigenous Bovine Hordes.
No.
Okay. We're trying to get away from the whole beef sponsorship.
But for the chicken.
All hell the chickens now.
I'd like to go Rocktopus. Just because we tried to change the name of the band to Rocktopus, but Adam wouldn't go for it. If we go with Sada, Rocktopus, there's a whole world of scope out there for us to make Sada hentai as well, with some tentacles.
What is hentai?
Japanese animated pornography.
Could you go a bit deeper?
That's what she said. That's the name of the album. There we go. Sada, hentai. It was a joke.
Right, you're right. But
Don't draw his best when you have to like pick them apart.
one track down? Yeah. Well, half a track down.
You do all the bits with the wah, because I think you probably know how to use it.
No, I wouldn't.